Yeah, hi everyone. Hope you all are doing wonderful today. Thank you so much for joining on time. We are waiting for a few more participants to join since it is our first day, and we would be giving it to go in like few minutes. All right, folks, people will keep joining. We'll be giving it a go now. Let me quickly share my screen. All right, can I get a quick confirmation that you all can see my screen and you can hear me pretty well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, then, yep, thank you. Thank you so much for joining on time here. I welcome you all in this orientation session today, wherein we'll be talking about the organization background, the immigration process, and specific benefits that you would be getting in here with us, and training details to be more importantly. That's what we're going to be doing up in here. Now, see, the thing is, we have been in the industry, and it's been, can say, more than 13, 14 years now. And we are servicing, or like we are providing our services to multiple clients from startup to Fortune 500 companies up in here, right? And we have our consultants being placed onto multiple domains, including healthcare. You talk about banking, finance, manufacturing, medical, biotech, pharmaceutical, right? We are a specialized organization into contract placement services and manpower support, wherein we train our spins to become successful professionals up in here. This is just a glimpse of few of the clients that we have up in here, right? And you can see a lot of big names up in here, right? Wells Fargo, we have Verizon, Walmart, Microsoft, AT&T, right? Costco, Gico is there, Bank of America. We are also sponsoring H-1Bs and green cards for our employees up in here. And yes, we do have a 100% success rate in offering all these services. And when you're done working with us for 9 months, we can process your green cards accordingly. For now, you might have submitted that to the HR already. The benefits that we talk about, you'll be connecting with your respective marketer. And what we are offering with us to you is for the first 6 months or the first 1,000 hours, you'll be getting $27 an hour with us. And once you complete 6 months on project or 1,000 hours, after that, you would be getting 60% of the bill rate, whatever it is. And after completing a year or 2,000 hours on project, you'll be getting 65% of the bill rate. And if you complete 1.5 years or 3,000 hours, project hours, then you'll be getting 70% of the bill rate, and maximum we can go up to 75% if you are with us for 2 years or 4,000 hours, whichever comes later. This is all about the project time, right? So you should be there on the project. And yeah, for more details, you can connect with your respective marketer as well. Yes, you would be getting a health insurance, dental insurance, Ocean Care discounts will provide you in case if you need to relocate, provide the relocation assistant as well if you need to travel for thing with the organization will providing you the traveling reimbursement as well. And yes, of course, we are an equal opportunity employer. So we welcome all the qualified minority, female, disabled, and veteran applicants up in here as well. Now, this is just about the online training. And see, post-COVID, we are all aware of this stuff, right? So you should be in there in your training. I'll talk about the timings and everything. But yeah, like when we are online, you need to be taking care of this stuff in here. I'll talk about those later. We would be going with it's gonna be like 6 to 8 weeks program because we have manual and automation both. We will be meeting every day, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's gonna be Eastern time. So whichever time zone you are, you need to make sure that you're joining into this session with on EST time zone up in here, 7:30 to 8:30. This training program would be, see, we are calling it as your analyst training, right? And it is not just about the manual QA or BA. But we are also going to make you learn automation as well. Because see, it is an analyst training. Analyst training for QA and BA both. And being a QA or BA, you'll be part of a software development team in the organization. So what you would be doing there as a BA, business analyst, or QA quality analyst, we'll learn everything in this training. I'll talk about the detailed plan as well, right? Wherein first we'll make you understand what is software development life cycle, how you can come up with the test plans, different types of testing, and it is all going to be with the help of multiple tools. It's not that I'm just gonna make you sit and run the presentations. No, I will make you learn multiple tools as well. Like let's say for project management, we'll be using Jira, right? Then for design, software design, architectural perspective, we will be going with Microsoft Visio here, right? After that, we will be learning how to write and execute test cases, right? I will even make you go and learn in case of automation. We're going to learn Selenium as well. This is just a list of few of the tools that we will be going with learning in this whole training. And it's not just about the technical training. We will make you prepare for interviews, resumes. We will do mock interviews with you as well. And that's how it's all going to be, right? In fact, let me just stop sharing. And I would start with another document. Where we have this whole 4-week plan. See, we would be starting with SDLC here, right? And wherein we have like multiple models, but we would primarily focus on to SDLC and Agile. These are the two models that would be primarily focusing on to, because as I told you, being a BA or a QA, you will be part of a software development team, right? So you should know that what it is all about being in a software development team, right? Will and see, we have designed this training in a way so that it can benefit you both, not only from the manual QA perspective, but from an automation QA perspective as well, right? So we're going to learn like both. And plus, of course, most of the things would be common for both BA and QA, but we'll take care of putting on specific focus because depending upon your job role, we'll go with that, right? So being putting focus onto the BA, we'll have the BA as well, when we'll make you aware of what actually business analysis is all about, how you can do the things in there as a BA, right? And the specifications of this tool and make you work onto this tool to come up with the UML diagrams, how you can come up with those architectures for your applications up in there. That is all we can do in this. Then we'll gradually move to the testing, when we'll see what actually is there in the testing. So we'll talk about what do you mean by SDLC, different phases, what are the different things in here, the levels of testing, right? And then we'll talk about the test case design technique, which is all about how, being a QA, you will be creating the test cases. If few of the terminologies sounds alien to you here, right? That is not going to be an issue. That's not going to be an issue. Okay? Because what happens now, I will make you aware of all those with this training. So if you feel that whether you're from an IT background, non-IT background, doesn't actually matter here. We have designed this training in a way that irrespective of your background, you'll be able to cope up here with this whole learning. Then I'll make you all aware with the test plan. We'll go and check what are the different types of testing up in here. And then finally, we'll be concluding with that. Jira will do in like our first week itself. We do have SQL as well, when I'll make you go learn SQL. SQL is primarily considered as a must-have skill for QA and BA both. So whether you're going to become a QA or BA, whether it is specified in your JD job description or not, you must know SQL. And keeping that into consideration, we have included SQL here entirely from the practical perspective, real life usage. That's what we're going to do in here with SQL, right? This is for the manual part that we have in here. For automation, what we would be doing in here is I will make you all go with putting that up in here. We'll go ahead and learn the Selenium and different aspects of it. I'll make you all work onto Eclipse. We will create automation scripts. I'll make you all go with a sample application. In fact, we will test live applications in here. So that is all we're going to do in this training, right? Now the thing is, before we jump onto that, it would be great if you guys can go ahead with just a short introduction of yours. Nothing much like you belong to which place and yeah, education and right now what you are involved into, right? So if we could start with you, Arima.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Rajit and all. As Rajit mentioned, my name is Arima. I live in Dallas, Texas. I have three kids, and I have a background of BA. I have 5 years of experience as a BA. But as Rajat mentioned, nowadays you need a QA and a BA in one person. So I don't have any QA knowledge or any idea how a QA works. So that's why I'm here to join this class to um, polish my QA and as well as BA experience and skills and work on different tools.
Wonderful. So being a BA, like which domain you were in there?
I was in banking, but then I switched to functional BA mostly, which was most part of my job was to do documentation
Mhm.
and work on Jira stories.
Oh, wonderful. So you have exposure to Jira already.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Welcome to the team, Arima. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. What about you, Parth?
So, sir, my name is Parth and I'm graduated from University of Texas at Dallas in December 24.
Mm-hmm.
So, after completing my Bachelor of Science in Information Technology from Surat, Gujarat,
Mm-hmm.
I directly came to here
Wonderful.
and I did my master's in Information Technology and Management. So, I'm on OPT right now. I'm looking for a job. I do not have any kind of experience, hands-on experience, but I work with Inside Global as an intern, as your DevOps intern.
Wonderful. Right. So you are aware of Azure.
Yeah. So I work on CI/CD pipeline automation.
Oh,
So
great.
I integrate the data of Terraforms into my pipeline and
Mm.
then release it with the APIs and all.
Wonderful. So if you're working with DevOps, you might be, exposed already to the software development process, right? Wonderful. With actually DevOps, Microsoft is also offering similar functionality the way we have in Jira, like, your story management and everything, which is good. Did you got a chance to complete any Azure certifications there?
Not right now, but I'm working on that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So you're aiming for that, right? AZ 204, AZ 400.
Yes, yes.
Great. Wonderful. All right. Great. What about you, Rahul?
Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul Jaswar. I'm originally from Nairobi, Kenya, but I live in Houston, Texas now. And I got my bachelor's from Sam Houston State University, and my degree was computer science. And then I recently got my master's in information systems. I actually got it this past May. So I'm currently also on OPT. I'm awaiting my EAD, and I also don't really have much experience. That's why I'm kind of looking for entry level positions once this training is over.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you. Welcome to the team, Rahul. All right. All right. So without any further ado, we will go ahead with the training here as well. It's gonna be 1 hour session every day, right? So we will be joining on time. And yeah, talking a bit about me. I have like 19 plus years of experience. I have worked as a developer. I have worked as a QA. And as I told you, it's been 19 plus years in the industry. I've worked into like multiple domains, but it's been more than 10 plus years now that I'm totally into training and consulting, right? Wherein I train folks like you who are already professionals or wanting to be professionals, right? So that's how we're gonna go ahead with this. Now, though like today, it's just the orientation, but I'll give you a glimpse of how we're gonna go with the training up in here as well. In fact, if it is just gonna be us, we'll start with the training as well. Let me share my screen again. And yeah, like since few of you are already aware of the concept, right? I won't go with the theory more and more, right? We'll just try to go ahead with the app up in here. All right. So when we talk about you being a QA or a BA, yes, you'll be part of a software development lifecycle. Now, since Arima, you're already being a BA, and Parth is there, right, who is working on to DevOps. Rahul is also from computer science background. So you folks are already into IT, right? You're not from a non-IT background. So being in IT, if I quickly brief you, that would be enough, I believe. So in this particular module, as you can see here, we'll be talking about what is software development lifecycle, which you guys are already aware of. So I'll just, yeah, it's just more like a brush up here. Like we'll talk about different phases and models. We'll try to touch down onto the important aspects up in here. Okay. So now when we talk about the development lifecycle, you are already aware. You see, whenever you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask a doubt. No problems. You can, don't wait for me to finish the topic. As in when you have a question, just unmute yourself and you can ask your doubt. And if you're not able to speak up, you can put that up in the chat as well. Okay. All right. Now, when we talk about the software development lifecycle, before we jump onto that, one quick thing here. Like, let's say if you are there in an organization, part of a software development team, right? You would be working with a client who would be, let's say that client is Bank of America, right? Bank of America comes to you that, hey, we need an application to be created, right? But Bank of America is not a software expert. So Bank of America comes to you saying that, hey, we need an application. But how would you create that application? Because Bank of America will provide you what Bank of America needs to be there in that application. List of features, functionalities that Bank of America expects you to develop in that application. So for that, the details, Bank of America will share with you what we call as requirement. Okay. And when you're working here in that team, what you would do is you would provide or deliver Bank of America an application. So if I put this in a nutshell, software development is all about, according to me, that you get requirements from the client and you provide them application. So we can say that in this software development whole process here, this team where you'll have QAs, you'll have BAs, because these are the two job roles we'll be mostly focusing on too. This team here, software development team, would be simply converting these requirements into features and functionalities in the application. That is what this team is going to do here. And now, since you all are aware of already this, but we need to do that here, all of this via process. And that process we have here in the form of SDLC. So software development lifecycle, it's going to make you create a high quality system. System is your application, where it's going to make you meet or exceed your customer expectations, your client expectations. This SDLC will ensure that your application is working effectively and efficiently, not only in the current, but in the planned IT infrastructure, right? Because let's say if you are planning to create right now an application for 500 users, see, application, whenever you talk about, it is going to be some code, but to run that code, you will need some hardware as well. That's what your application is. Okay. And depending upon the capability and capacity of your application, code would be there, but accordingly, because you will need that supporting hardware. Okay. So right now, let's say if you're creating that for 500 users, that would be your current IT infrastructure, depending upon what hardware you would need for 500 users. But let's say your business grows and now you have to cater 5,000 or 50,000 users, right? Your hardware will increase because you have to make those necessary adjustments in your hardware to accommodate the capacity of the application for this increased number of users. This is just a hypothetical example here. So you need to make sure that your application is working due to these changes. Now, this hardware here is basically your complete IT infrastructure. So it should work. And that you can foresee with a proper SDLC. Plus, it's not just about creating an application and delivering it to the client. No, you need to make sure that it is running smoothly, error-free. If there are errors, you need to make sure that you're fixing those errors for your client after it is being delivered. That's what we call as maintenance. So it should be light on the bucket of the client to maintain that application once delivered. Not only that, enhancements, which is like updates, right? Client needs a new feature to be added. Client needs some functionality to be expanded. All those also cost effective. for the client. And all of these you will ensure via a proper software development lifecycle. Right? Now, since this is something that most of you are already aware of, right? Since you, again, from the same background, IT background, have been here, worked into being part of software development team, you're already working in there. The thing here is, if I talk about, it's going to be a phased process that I need not to tell you. Now, when we talk about the phases of SDLC, right? Can you guys tell me the names? What are the phases that we have here? See, it's going to be an interactive session. So I'll keep asking you, even you can anytime jump in and let me know what it is that. Yes, I'm not asking you how many of these would be, but if you can tell me some names of these phases, because it's going to be a phased process. You'll not do everything in one shot. You have to go step by step. So what are those phases? Anyone?
The
Starts with
first,
planning.
Sorry, it
Oh,
starts
sorry.
with planning. Okay.
Then
Then
requirement gathering.
requirement gathering,
testing,
testing.
Before testing, we have to do design.
yep,
Okay, design would be there, let's say.
After design is coding.
Coding. Then you're saying it's gonna be testing. Okay.
the maintenance of it as well.
Maintenance. Okay.
Deployment.
Deployment. Wonderful. Guys got it all correct, right? Requirement gathering, you can also call it as requirement analysis, right? And coding, you can also say development, right? Okay, deployment is also known as delivery, right? That's what. Wonderful, right? So since you guys are already aware of this, if I ask you, what planning is all about? What do you think that planning could be?
The planning would be the elicitation sessions with the client,
Mm-hmm.
where we get the requirement from the client.
No, like planning is primarily, you can say, your authoritative activity, which is primarily done by our managers. Or in case of agile, we go with planning with the team as well, right? But in planning, generally, we decide who will do what, and what will be done when. That is what primarily it is going to be your planning, which is basically talking about these three aspects. So with these three W's, we have planning going up in here. And in this case, if you talk about what it is like going to be who is all about these roles, what is all about the responsibilities, right? And when it is all about the schedule, right? So who are the people involved? What are their responsibilities? And when they will do or when they will perform all of the tasks which are mentioned under their responsibilities are. So if we are process, you are finalizing all of this, then we are calling that process as planning up in here, right? That is what it's going to happen in the planning. Yes. So you guys were almost there. So this is what we have with this planning. Okay. Now planning, since you know, now see, you guys got all those correct. So yes, this is what we have in your faces, SDLC up in here, right? Now, when you say that, let's say if I say that, okay, this is going to be your software development team activities, right? These are all the phases. Here, your client will not be part of this phase, but client will be interacting externally with this. Okay. Now, yes, your client will interact with you with the requirements, of course, right? What you would be doing up in here is, see, planning, as I told you, it's going to be more of your authoritative activity, which is primarily done by your project manager, right? But since it is our QA or BA training, right? Can you tell me like where BA will be primarily fitting into this whole set of phases here? Being a BA, where you would be?
And the analysis?
Yes, in the analysis. You got it correct, right? Or we also call it as requirement analysis. Yes, got it correct. Okay. And what about QAs? Where QAs would be primarily there?
Testing.
Testing. Yes, you got that correct as well. Because see what happens now when you're working with that software development team, primarily this is the set of people who are known as your technical development team. Designers, development programmers, right? And you have your QA test engineers or testers, right? This is your technical development team. They take care of how the things will be done. Okay. But before they start doing or start working onto the how part of the application, they must know what needs to be developed. And the answer of what they will get at the end of this requirement analysis phase. Because being a BA, you will be coming up with the specifications of what needs to be there in that application, what client wants you to develop in that application. And that's what it is all about. So being a BA, requirement analysis is all about gathering the requirement, polishing those, and coming up with the list of what actually needs to be there in that application. Because once this technical development team has clarity onto what needs to be in there, they can start working and coming up with the how part, which is all about coming up with your application. Because BAs here would be acting as a liaison between your technical development team and your client. Because this client here may or may not be technically literate, right? So we have BAs sitting in here, requirements, working with the client, and technically representing what client needs to be there in that application to the technical development team. So the technical development team can actually start working on to that. Yes. So this is what it would be here being a QA or BA, right? And why this testing here right before the deployment? Because I told you that it is deployment, or how people are calling it as a delivery, right? Because that's where, because you kind of provide the requirements to the team and team delivers you the application. So this is the delivery part. So right before the delivery, we are verifying, we are checking that everything is working fine. That's why we have testing right before the deployment. Right after the development, we don't have deployment because we need to verify in-house on client locations that whether the application is working fine or not. Because if we are getting a green signal from the testing team, then only we are proceeding with the deployment up in here, or delivery to the application to the client. Wonderful. Now, since you all are already aware of this, right, I may need not to go into details up in here for all these phases, but yeah, like I'll be sharing this with you. I'll be sharing with you all the presentations. You will be getting this. Our sessions are recorded. Though I don't have access to the recordings, it is taken care by the backend team. They will download and upload the recordings at a place where you can view these recordings as well. For the recordings, you can connect with your respective marketer. He or she'll guide you towards how you can look into the recordings as well. No problems, right? We just went ahead with a discussion around this, right? We actually had plans to start this formally like tomorrow, but yeah, since you folks are already into IT, so I just thought of discussing few understandings here as well. No worries. We'll move further onto this tomorrow. And now, since you are already aware of this, I'll not go into these details now. That's not gonna make any point. We will directly be jumping onto the models, and there also I'll primarily discussing the waterfall in brief, and then I'll jump onto agile tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm planning to start with the agile and few basic concepts up in there. But yeah, like whenever you have any questions, you can of course stop me anytime and you can ask a question. Just the orientation today. So we're gonna stop it here itself. If you have any questions before we call it a day.
Are we gonna get these slides, Ranjit, or it's just for you?
Yeah, sure, of course. In fact, I can share that with you right now so that
Okay.
you can go ahead with that ahead of our session and you can ask your questions accordingly. Let me just put that in the chat itself.
Thank you.
Then just putting that. All right. Yeah, it's getting uploaded and yes, you should be able to see that in the chat now, all of you.
I have not a question but a request also. Can we change the time to 6 EST if everybody is okay with it and you are okay with it?
Right now it is 7:30. to 8:30, right?
So,
Six.
I mean, your time 7 o'clock, my time 6. So 7. Right now it's 7:30. If we can move it to 7 p.m. EST.
Actually, we go with the EST time zone up in here, and I do have work till 6:30. That's why we have moved that to 7:30 today.
Oh, okay. Okay. Please then.
And Rajat, the PPT and reporting we are going to get with our marketer, right?
Yeah, PPTs I'll share it with you, like in the chat. I just shared this whole presentation in the PDF format. PPTs and all the supporting materials you'll be getting from me. Recording access, you can connect with your respective marketer. They'll provide you. But like today's session would be uploaded there by tomorrow. So yeah, you can ask them from tomorrow, day after tomorrow onwards. Then they'll provide you the link. No problems.
Okay, thank you.
Right. All right, then yeah. If you're not having any more questions, then yeah, we'll be calling it a day for today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, folks, for joining in here, and see you all tomorrow. Bye,
Sure.
folks. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.